I want to talk about something that's really important. Usually I'm reacting to a video, but I just want to talk directly on this and really how things get screwed up when you're just out there dating, how you meet the wrong person, how you end up in a bad situation. And it really is something that happens just gradually right from the start. But if you take responsibility for it and start things differently, you're going to avoid a lot of regret, a lot of pain, a lot of feelings that you just don't want. It's our responsibility, these relationships you get into, the bad stuff that happens, being with the wrong person. It is. I'm speaking from experience, because I've done that. I've chosen the wrong person. And what is the impetus to that? How does that happen? How do I choose the wrong person? How do I get involved in situations? You see a lot of what's going on today is men say they're done. They're quitting. They've had it. This is terrible. Look at what my choices are. Look at this culture. There's nothing here for me. Well, a lot of times that's because of me, and that's the choices I've made, and that's where I've wasted my time with women I shouldn't have been with, or given hunks of my life to. That's right. It sands through the hourglass. Our lives are slipping away constantly. We're all hurling towards the end. And then we waste time and we end up in these terrible situations. And how did that happen? What was going on that caused that? So you go on a date, and as a man, you have this huge drive to mate. So she's saying stuff, red flags are going off, things you don't like, and you're like, you're trying to get past it. It's like barbed wire. Each time you rip into it, you're like, I just got to find a way to get through this fence and this one because I need to mate. Well, that's really why we end up in these terrible situations and terrible relationships, awful marriages. Oh, yeah, I got married. Yeah, but you knew she was awful. You knew she wasn't right for you. You knew she wasn't quality. And you spent time with her instead of holding off for the one that was. We've all done this. As I said earlier, I'm speaking from experience. You want to mate. You just do. It's such a strong drive. So you end up in situations where, right, it's a common term, red flags. You're sacrificing yourself. That's really what you're doing. You're sacrificing your life. Men say this a lot now. They just want peace. Well, you can date and have peace, but you have to be responsible for the choices you make. When these signs show themselves, you have to act accordingly. And really, just think about it. Think about all the relationships and all the dates you've had. Think about each one. If you weren't trying to pursue this mating aspect of everything, would you have made the decisions you did? Would you have ended up in that 6-month relationship, that 3-year relationship, that terrible marriage, just to have that companionship? It's not just women who need validation. Men need that too. It's not just women who need attention. Men crave that too. We really do. And how many times did you sacrifice who you are because you wanted that validation? You wanted that attention from a woman. You wanted that physical touch. If that wasn't so important to you, would you make those decisions? You really have the power in these dating situations. I've watched culture change, and I see the next generation see themselves not really as men anymore, as strong. I see men in relationships where they have the feminine energy. They're reporting in to this woman. Yeah, if you want to do that, fine. Does that feel good? Let me ask my girlfriend. I can't go anywhere without her. I have to see what she says. And I look at these men in their lives, and how did that happen? You've given up all your power. You've given up your energy. And you're just kind of like a servant. Why would you do that? How did you end up that way? Is that a good feeling? Do you feel like a man? Does she really respect you? Is that really a good relationship? I would say no. I would say it's not a good feeling. That feeling you have, you're not connecting with your true nature, your confidence, your ability to stand on your own as a man. Men have become so desperate for contact and attention, they either give up or they end up sacrificing all their masculinity because they think that's the only way to be with a woman, is to be that feminine man. Tell me that's not true. Good. Let me know in the comments. Look at your friends. Look at yourself. Look at how much you've sacrificed yourself. Look at the quality of your relationship. When you're going on a date as a man in 2026, you're just trying to work it out. You're just trying to get some little bit of connection. I sense this desperateness, and the quality of the relationship ends up being real bad. You're not really bringing out the true femininity in that woman you're dating. You're not comfortable with yourself in your own masculinity, so you're following her lead. And guess what? No one's happy in the end. And many of these relationships end up terrible. And why is the divorce rate so high? It's because exactly what I'm talking about now. There's no real grounded feeling, right? Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you feel that? When you go out on a date, you need to be able to get in touch with that masculinity. And it's, I can take it or I can leave it. I don't absolutely have to have this. You want peace? That's something you create inside you. It's not something you get or don't get, whether you're dating or not dating. You can date and have that peace, but that's up to you with the choices you make. And that's really the point of this video. Men want their peace. Men are going their own way. Well, you can do those things while still dating. Okay, yeah, you don't want to date American women? Don't. They've been corrupted? Okay, if that's how you feel. Those are absolutes. Those aren't necessarily 100% true. Those can be an excuse to avoid the challenge of connecting with your masculinity. And having that peace and having that confidence as you're going through life, meeting people and dating and making choices. You want to date only, you like the Hispanic culture? Great. You like the black culture? Great. You like the Asian culture? You think that's better and more suitable for you as a man? Fine. You just want to have your own peace and do your own thing? Fine. I find the interaction and engaging and meeting people and having a relationship, I like that. I don't want to go my own way, and I don't think a man that's truly in touch with his masculinity wants to do that either. It's a choice. And that brings me around to the beginning of the conversation. When you're dating someone, it's your choice as a man to go down that road. As she's talking, as she's revealing herself to you, and as you're getting to know her, you do not have to form an attachment. You can get to know her while still maintaining your peace. That's your responsibility. Oh, you're like this? Oh, you're telling me about all the guys you've been with? Oh, yeah. Hey, you're an interesting person. Do you have to get upset about that? Do you have to date her a second time? Do you have to pay for dinners and separate yourself from your funds? No, you don't. If you're in touch with your masculinity, if you're in touch with who you are as a man, you won't go down those roads. Like, oh, okay, you're not the go for me, but I'm an outstanding man. I'm going to end this date properly. Oh, all they want is my money. Yeah, I hear that all the time. Yeah. Is she reaching into your back pocket, taking out your wallet and extracting the money? And does she have a charge card thing? Is she charging your card? No, you reach in to your back pocket, you get out your wallet, and you pay for stuff. Have you gotten upset that you're with a woman and she doesn't take responsibility? Look at yourself. It's you who needs to take responsibility. You don't like what I'm saying? It's the truth. I'm talking to myself too. Is it easier to pay and then complain? Mm-hmm. But what does that do to you? You need to set the standard. You need to set the boundary. If you're being separated from your money, it's you who's making that choice. If you're in a horrible relationship, it's because you made that choice. You separated yourself from your masculinity and being grounded in who you are. And that's the most important thing. So I'm just touching on this now. I'm going to talk more about this. It's an overall philosophy. It's something I see modern men have gotten away from. They don't understand what it means to be grounded in your masculinity. And it's much easier not to take responsibility for that and to blame. But it's a powerless feeling. I believe our nature as men is to feel powerful, is to feel that masculinity we have, and that you got to feel fortunate. I feel fortunate I enjoy being a man. And when I connect with that feeling inside of myself, I make better decisions. I don't get hurt. I don't take things personally that someone is different than me while I'm out there dating. And if I notice things that aren't compatible with my masculinity, I gracefully move on. And that's what I'd like to help you guys with. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.